Good morning, participant. Namaskar. This is Dr. Mamta Brahmbhatt. I am an associate professor at BK School of Professional and Management Study, Gujarat University. BK School of Professional and Management Study, it is a department of management at Gujarat University. I am teaching quantitative analysis and research methodology at my department. I have been invited by many universities for research methodology courses, and today I'm going to talk on how to write a research paper. So, on behalf of HRDC, I welcome you all on this STC on writing a research paper. So, today's my topic is how to write a research paper. So, let us start with this topic. I am a traditional faculty in my institute. Also, I am not preparing PPT, so you have to bear with me. Without PPT, I am going to start. So, in my institute, I am telling to all my students that if you want to attend my session, then you have to write. Yeah. So that is a common instruction for you also. Please be ready with your pen, pencil, notepad because you need to write. I am not having any PPT. Clear? So before I'll start for my session, let me share the screen with you all. I'm sharing the screen. Okay. Okay, fine. I think my whiteboard is visible and I am audible. This is the I'm assuming because I'm not able to get the response because this is the online class. So I'm assuming that my board is visible to you all and I am audible to you. So with this assumption, I'm starting my today's session, how to write a research paper. Now, writing a research paper, many a times researcher they get confused themselves that how to start writing research paper, what is to be included. Many papers are rejected by a publisher. So, what will be the strategy that you can adopt for writing a research paper? So, I'm going to talk with this. The first step of writing the research paper could be like this, like you need to identify your title, your topic for which you are going to write the research paper. And from starting that, you have to come to a narrow field. From a broad aspect of your research title, you have to narrow down the process and you have to arrive at the focus topic from where you have to start writing the research paper. I think it is clear to you. So let us take a very simple example of how to start with. Clear? So as you know that I am from management. So if I have to start writing a research paper, but obviously my papers would be from management. So management, it is a broader aspect. From that, I have to narrow down my choices. Okay. So I'm drawing something here. You can have a look on the whiteboard. Let me start with this. So this is one circle. I will say that this is nothing but the broader interest area or broader choice of mine for writing a research paper. Clear? So I will write this. This is nothing but this is management. Clear? Now, in management also we have various branches of management. All branches may not be liked by all. Clear? So as a human being, you have a specialization. So in management, if you see that we have various specialization, like we can have human resource management, we can have marketing, we can have finance, we can have IT, we can have production and operation management. So there are various specialization or the subdivision of management. From that, you need to choose that out of this many sub-specialization, which topic you want to start with. Okay, so maybe from all of these, my interest area or my choice could be marketing. So narrow down my process and then I'm selecting this could be the marketing. So from a management, I have narrowed down my process to marketing. And in marketing also, as you know, there are many things, there are many subjects to be taught in marketing. Like in marketing, you can have, I'm writing somewhere here, so if you want, you can write down. So in marketing also, maybe we can say that we have very important subject that is consumer behavior. We have advertisement management, we have sales and distribution management, and what else? And we can have production name, that is a product and brand management. Clear? We have service marketing. So out of marketing, this could be the subfield of a marketing from where you have to select. From a broader aspect, narrow down. Clear? Management to marketing and marketing. Maybe my interest area or my choices could be the service marketing. Yeah. So now from a broader circle, I am narrow downing the things to Service marketing. Clear. Now it is a services. What kind of a services? Services can be of any types of services. Which service you like most? So in services, I can say that the services, it could be library related services. That could be education. Clear. Library, you can say it is education. You can say it is the entertainment. Clear. And it could be a hospital related services. It could be insurance, it could be banking. Clear. So there are many services. Tourism, it is a services. Water park, it is a services. Movie multiplex, it is a services. So out of these many services, retail outlet, that could be the services. Clear. Out of this, what you like the most for conducting the research? So maybe I can say that I like the most could be the retail. Clear. So I am now narrow down my process, like it could be retail. Clear. So this is the, from a broader aspect of writing a research paper, you are narrow downing your choices and you arrive at the very small choice of yours that you want to do something in services, especially in the retail. Clear. So at the first stage, your research paper title, it is ready that you want to do service sector analysis with respect to retail. Clear. So now this particular item or the topic which you have identified, you can have do in search like the services of retail sector. Services of retail sector. Clear. Start searching this. Clear. Where you will search? Obviously you will tell me that Google. Clear. So that is not the appropriate insert for me. Google is the, you can search, but you can try Google Scholar. And if you are a faculty or a research scholars, clear, so then I will suggest, rather than studying the Google, those are freely available all the articles, you go for online databases. Yeah, I'll talk what is online databases later on. So now you search this title, services of retail sector. Yeah. So you have started like services of retail sector, that is your broad title. Yeah, for conducting the research. From narrow down process, again, this is I'm saying it is broad. When you studied this from a Google or any online databases, you come to know that whatever I want to study, the service quality of retail sector, that concept it is very well studied by the previous researcher, and that concept it is known as the broad circle I'm doing. That concept it is known as service quality. Clear. So now you are clear that you want to study service quality in retail sector. Clear. So what was your earlier title? Your first search title gives the answer that you want to conduct a research on service of retail sector. From service of retail sector, now you have come to the point that you are interested in conducting this research on service quality of retail sector. Are you getting me? So now, what process we have followed? From management, we have narrowed down to marketing. From marketing, we have narrowed down to service marketing, and from service marketing to retail. And from the doing that, you have got the title like you want to do services of retail sector. So you will search that a research paper on retail services of retail sector. When you have done this, that time you come to know that this idea which you are having, it is a researcher have already studied, and that concept it is known as service quality. So from a broader aspect of conducting the research, you have come to a very focused idea, that is service quality in retail sector. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Let me erase the whiteboard and I'll write some again one thing. Now I have told you that these things you have to search in online database. Clear. Now what kind of online database are there? There are ample of databases available as far as commerce and management research are concerned, or for social science researcher, I will say that. So online research, online databases, if I have to name the few, then I can say that it could be Amazon, it could be AppSco. Clear? AppSco. It, this is C. No, this is not O. This is C. I am not able to erase. Why? Just a minute. So it is C. Okay. This is AppSco. Clear. Then you can have ProQuest. Then you can have a Joster. Clear. So there are many online database available. Now, what is this online database about? Online database, in one online database, minimum you will find more than 50,000 journals. Clear? I am talking journals. I am not talking about articles. Clear? So within one online database, you'll find many journals related to your field. From online database, the title which you have Just narrow down that title you have to search here. So what we have narrowed down? We have done that research paper on service quality in retail sector. Service quality in retail sector. That was the topic you have narrowed down through your choices. Clear? So now this title, service quality in retail, you need to study in online databases. Now, when you are doing this online database search, that time, when you are doing this search, you have to do the search for title. Clear? So when you are, don't download all the papers when you are doing the search for title. So when you are writing the service quality in retail sector, now just see the first 50 papers title. Clear? I'm not saying download that. You just see the titles of first 50 papers. When you are doing the title search, that time you come to know that whatever you want to study, like service quality in retail sector, the concept it is there in the literature, and that concept it is known as retail service quality scale. Clear? So this retail service quality scale, that is the concept you are going to study for your research. So now it is a very focused area that you have identified. Now, when you have doing the search for the title, you got this. Yeah. And when you have seen the 50 different titles, your title is so polished. Like you can say that the retail service quality scale, a comparative analysis of retail formats in Ahmedabad or in the states of Gujarat. Empirical investigation on retail service quality scale with April Brandt. Clear? So now how to give the titles for a research paper. When you are interested in writing a research paper and submitting to the publication house, your title matters a lot. Clear? So how to select the title, that is a crucial point. So that's why I'm telling that when you are doing the search, you search for the title first. Your title should be, I'll not say should be, your title must be so attractive that at least the editor team will not do the desk rejection. Yeah. So many papers are rejected from desk without the comments. So that is maybe just because of the titles. Yeah. So your title must be very, very clear and attractive. After reading the title, readers or editor must get the clarity about all your entire paper. So you can say that the retail service quality scale, a smart PLS approach. Yeah. Retail service quality scale, a factor analysis. So here your statistical method is also determined during the process of deciding your title. So you can write the confirmatory factor analysis on retail service quality scale in Ahmedabad area. So your title itself is deciding that which statistical treatment you have applied for your title. Yeah. You can write the retail service quality scale, a smart PLS approach. What is that? In that you are deciding that even which software you are going to use, that you have written here. Clear? So with this, your title become attractive. Your title will give the idea, clarity to the editorial board that which software you have used, which statistical technique you have applied, whether it is the primary data collection paper or secondary data collection, that also will be clear from your title. So people will find interest in reading your paper. Yeah. So from a broader aspect of research area, you have to narrow down the process. Clear? So when you are doing this narrow down process, that time you are revising your title maybe 3, 4 times. And after doing that, you are getting your final title. Yeah. So now my final title is that I want to do something, a research paper on retail service quality scale. So that scale it is available. When I'm saying a scale, that means that instrument it is already prepared. So service quality instrument it is prepared by the Parshuraman and Jethamal. And I think the research service quality scale it is prepared by Dhapulkar. I'm not sure because I'm faculty of finance. So marketing can be better person to answer this question. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, the service quality, it is the scale it is prepared by, so call it is prepared by Pashuraman and Jetham. Clear? So now your scale it is ready. When I'm saying the scale, that means your question is almost ready. What questions you are going to ask, it is there, it is already prepared by the previous researcher or the people, those who have developed this scale. So now this you have to do a title search. And with this title search, what you can do now, With this, your title, it is ready that you are going to do retail service quality scale with XYZ product or brand in entire Gujarat state. Clear. Now with this, you start identifying what you are doing the next one. Clear. So with this title, again, you have to do the online database search. The online database search now, earlier when you have downloaded the 50 papers, not 50 papers, we have not downloaded, we have just searched the title. So 50 papers title you have seen. Now in the second stage of this, you have to download this 50 new articles with the new revised titles. Clear? So download the 50 research papers, and from this 50 research paper, you need to study only one single paragraph. Yes, you are supposed to read only one paragraph from this research paper which you have downloaded. So now, this is the online class. If in offline classes, this was the my most favorite question. I am asking to all the participants that what would be that paragraph that you are going to study from a research paper. So then people used to answer me. I have conducted many workshops. Within last 5 years, I think I'll almost have conducted more than 250 sessions. So in all 250 sessions of mine of research methodology, I had asked this question repeatedly to all the participants that if you have to study one paragraph from a research paper, which paragraph you will read? And people, they have answered me like this, like, Madam, I will study introduction. Some people, they are saying, Madam, I will read abstract. Clear? Then their list, it is like that. I may look into literature review. I may read the theoretical framework. Clear? Some people, they are saying that I may look into methodology. Some, they are saying that I will read hypothesis. People, they are saying maybe I will read findings. Some people, they have replied me in my previous classes that they will study conclusions and implications. Clear? So this were the answer that I had got from my previous workshops. Like this, people, they might read this one paragraph means this. I will say that when you have to read one single paragraph from the 50 downloaded papers, you will not read introduction, you will not read abstract, you will not go and read the literature review, no theoretical framework, no methodology, no hypothesis testing, no findings, and not at all conclusion and implication. Then you might think that if all the things we are not going to read, then what we are going to read from the articles or the research paper which I have downloaded. Yeah, everything. This is nothing but you can say this is a structure of a research paper. So in a research paper, these are the things we are writing. And when I'm saying that you are not supposed to read any of these things, then what we are supposed to read them? Yeah, you are not supposed to read any of these things when you are doing the search second time. So then what are you supposed to read? I'm writing. From these things, you need to read only one single paragraph, and that paragraph could be limitations of research. Clear? Limitation of research, and sometimes it is also combined with the limitation of research and scope for the future research. Clear? Now, when you are reading this paragraph, limitation of research, you need to differentiate between the very important thing that limitation of research and limitation of researcher. Clear? There is a thin line of difference between these two, limitation of research and limitation of researcher. Very thin line of difference between these two terminology. So if you are reading the limitation like due to time constraint, we have studied only 75 respondents. So that is a limitation of researcher. Clear? That is a limitation of researcher. You are not supposed to read that kind of a limitations. So then what kind of a limitation you should study? So maybe I'm saying the two or three limitation which I have studied from the some literature. So I'm narrating that this research paper which I have written here, we have looked into only developed country. The current research paper is not at all focusing on a developing country. The future researcher are advised to take into consideration of this factor, and then they should study the developing country. They can make the comparison between developing country and developed country. Yeah. So this is very sound limitation that the researcher has not at all studied the developing countries aspects. Yeah. So this is the limitation of researcher. Another limitation, if I have to narrate that, I can say that the current research has not examined the relationship between demographic profile of the respondent with any of the construct, maybe a surface quality. Clear? So this is also he is acknowledging that I have not studied. Yeah, the correlation aspect between the demographic factors and the service quality that I have not at all studied. This could be the limitation of research. Yeah. So when you are reading this paragraph, limitation of research, after reading, you have to record these limitations somewhere in the form of a Word document, or maybe you can do it in the Excel. Yeah. I'm preparing the table. So you can also prepare if you wish to. So all the limitations which you have downloaded, that 50 papers, so then that limitation you need to record somewhere. Yeah. So then you will get the 50 different research limitations. Record one by one and then read that limitations many times. Yeah. After reading that limitation, you will come to the conclusion that the few of the limitation are repetitive in nature. Delete them, ignore them, remove them. Clear? And then revise your limitation portion and then read it again. After reading that limitation, now you identify that which limitation it is your most favorite one. Clear? That limitation you are going to talk on, or that limitation you are going to address when you are conducting the research. When you are writing your research paper, that time that limitation you are going to talk, because that limitation your previous researcher they have not studied. Now it is your duty to carry forward that. Yeah. So the person who has left out the work at his research, now it is your job to start from that. Yeah. So now two, three limitations you identify from the previous research and then try to convert them into research gaps and research objectives. When you are not reading the limitation part of the previous researcher, we are making the duplication of research. Okay. So if you want to write a new research paper or the new concept, so then in that case, the things which are not studied from that side, you have to start. And the things are not studied, it is very well acknowledged by researcher in the portion of limitation section. Yeah. So in the limitation section, you can read the limitation, revise them twice, thrice, and decide that I'm going to study this kind of a limitations. I think it is clear. Yeah. So now the limitation which you have identified and which you told, decided that yes, I'm going to read this three, four limitation. This is nothing but this is a research gap. Clear? This research gap you have to convert in the form of the research objectives. Now, how to convert into research objectives? Or you can convert into the research questions also. Like if you are writing, is there any relation? Okay, I'm writing. Is there any relation between service quality and demographic profile of the respondent? Clear? This is called research questions. This is called research question. When you write this research question in the form of like this, to study relation between service quality and demographic profile of the respondent, this becomes the research objective. This becomes the research objective. So anything you are writing in the form of question mark, relating the research gap. Clear? If you are converting your research gaps into this format, then it is called the research question. When you are writing in this particular format, then it is known as research objectives. When whatever the research gap you have identified, if you are writing in a form of some problem, clear? So then it will be considered as a problem statement. When this research gap which you have identified, and if you are writing all positive wordist paragraph out of this, then you can say that it is a significance of research or rational for conducting the research. Clear? So rational for conducting the research, problem statement, Significance of research, this is written in the paragraph form. This comes from a research gap. If you're writing in this format, then this becomes a research question. If you're writing in this form, then that becomes the research objective. So research objective, research question, rationale for conducting the research, significance of research, problem statement, all these things comes from your research gap. Clear? And research gap, it is nothing but the limitation of the previous researcher. I think it is clear. Let us move forward. So now I am preparing the table for you people. So you, if you want, you can prepare like this. So your first thing starts with somewhere you can write that. Now I'll write only R because the space is limited. So then you can say that is a research objective. Clear? Now, when you want to attend this research objective, what would be the methodology? What research design you are going to follow? Clear? So somewhere you can write research methodology or research design, whatever you feel comfortable, you can write. So now the research objective which I have identified from the research gap or limitation, that the current study it is focused on developing country. Clear? So then, okay, I have to write like limitations and then I will relate. Okay, fine. So let me rub it one more time. So then I have identified the research gap. Clear? What was the research gap? The current study, the previous researcher was saying like that, it is for a, he has conducted the research only for a developed country. So what was the missing thing? He has not done anything with the developing country. Now it is your job to do. That could be the first research gap you have identified. Second one. Second, it is a research gap. Second, you can say that uh, service quality and demographic characteristics of respondent, they are not related. So these two research gaps you have identified. Now this thing you have to convert into research objectives. How? So then you can write research objective to develop model for, he has studied for developed countries, so we will be preparing or to develop or to design a model for developing country. Clear? So this could be a research objective. Second objective could be, I can write that to examine the relationship, to examine the relation between service quality and demographic profile. Clear? So whatever the research gap you have identified, that research gap again you have converted into research objectives. Clear? You have converted into research objectives and now you're trying what would be the next step. Yeah. So research objectives, the next step after identifying the research objective in writing the research paper could be research design. Clear? So now to develop a model for a developing country, you need to go for a research design wherein you are going to explore the things. Clear? Exploratory research you need to conduct. So what would be the research design appropriate for this objective? So as you know, there are three types of research methodology or research design: exploratory research design, descriptive research design, and causal. These are the three research design that it is there for conducting any research. So now something it is not at all developed or that model it is you need to design, you have to go for exploratory research to examine the relationship between service quality and demographic. For that you have to go for descriptive research approach. Clear? Now in exploratory there are many methods, like you can go for observation. In the explorative, what you can go for observation, you can go for focus group discussion, FGD. For descriptive, you can go for survey also. Clear? So as a researcher, you need to decide that if this is my objective, what would be the research designed for this objective? So then you are saying that I am going to follow the exploratory study, and under the exploratory study, I will be going for an observation method. Clear? Under a descriptive research design, I will go for survey. So if it is a survey, I had to prepare questionnaire. Okay. I had to prepare a question. So from a broader aspect of a research choices, you have narrowed down, you have done title search. After doing the title search, you have identified or you have polished or you have revised the title. That revised title, you have downloaded the 50 research paper. With this 50 research paper, you have studied the limitation, and the limitation you have converted into research gaps. Yeah. And then you have done the research objectives of that. Yeah. And then now the research objectives, you have determined what would be the research methodology, appropriate research methodology for this. Yeah. Now, the next step, we will be moving towards the next step, like after identifying the research methodology, what would be the next thing? Okay, so the next thing could be you need to identify that what would be the next thing. That next thing you need to identify the variables. Yeah, you need to identify, just a minute, I have stopped sharing. Just a minute.